Back at it here, Wednesday, 21st day of August, 2024. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. Thanks for starting your day with us. So we'll have the latest local information you need to start your day. Hope you had a good Tuesday afternoon. It was a little cattywampus around the newsroom, as you might imagine, because of the Stamen fire. Mostly good news. The level 3 evacuations down now to level 2. To our knowledge, nobody has been injured. No structures have been lost. They got very aggressive on this fire as soon as it was toned out about 1:45 yesterday afternoon. We're going to show you a live PTZ shot of the area here in just a couple of minutes. Right now, I think most of the folks in that general area are breathing a little easier this morning than they were yesterday afternoon, especially 4 or 5 o'clock when that thing took off. But the air support and the area firefighters got right on top of that baby. We'll have the latest on the Stamen fire in just a few minutes. It's mostly good news. Don't like it when that happens. 57 degrees here in the big city. Yeah, it's cool, and we're going to have this unsettled kind of weather. A couple of weak systems coming in, moving up. Maybe going to give us a little bit of light rain. We could certainly use it. They've increased the chances of rain and the period of rain, but they are admitting that there's a lot of not a lot of confidence in exactly who's going to get rain and how much. The computer models are kind of not really lining up together. The forecast is coming up. For the most part, it's going to be below normal. We'll have more clouds than sunshine until we get to next week, and then we go right back to summertime weather. We have a lot of news. I told you it was a busy day in the newsroom yesterday. Sports, the Mariners are just a sinking ship right now. They got to get home. Of course, they haven't been playing real good at home lately either, but this road trip has been a disaster for Seattle. Last night in Los Angeles, no exception there. And speaking of sports, we wrap it up. The Wenatchee Apple Sox 2024 campaign, one of the best in franchise history. They won 38 games, including the postseason. Joel Norman and I sat down at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium on Monday to wrap up the Apple Sox season. It was a good campaign. In fact, it was Monday when we taped it. It's Wednesday now. I think Joel is somewhere close to Nebraska, where he'll be spending his winter time calling hockey in Lincoln, Nebraska. Joel Norman, my guest in the back half of the program. Let's go. We got a lot to get to. On this Wednesday, the cross camera, the Wenatchee Heights camera, panned way back. Those that you see way off in the distance, that's not smoke. Those are clouds. Still a few high clouds to the upper part of our viewing area. Sunrise this morning was at 6:06. Sunset tonight, 8:01. That's 13 hours and 54 minutes. Tomorrow, sunset will be before 8 o'clock. As we close in on autumn, of course, the autumnal equinox is 1 month from today. It is coming up. Camera number 2. Off we go to the Union Valley camera. We used that a lot yesterday. You're looking directly across to the burn scar on the Stamen fire. That is the Chelan Butte on the upper left-hand corner of your screen. And again, that's what you saw. The clouds that you saw, those high clouds, that one little band. That's the same band of clouds that you saw when we showed you the Wenatchee Heights camera to begin with. And there's obviously very little smoke now. I think it's pretty much knocked down. They got all over that baby right away. Almost every local fire district that has a manned station showed up, and a few of them that aren't manned showed up as well. It was a good effort there. Camera number 3 on our tour, it's up to Lake Wenatchee. They got a little bit of rain up at Lake Wenatchee, and they're still catching the salmon, although I believe that ends at the end of this month, and I don't know how much salmon is actually left there. The ones that got past the anglers are already laying their eggs up the Little Wenatchee and the Wenatchee River. Good morning to Lake Wenatchee. And finally, our 4th camera is Billy Goat, I believe. That's Billy Goat pointing down towards the Columbia River, so we move that to the left, and it would be the shot that we normally show you of the Brewster, Pateros, Bridgeport area and the Medhow. So we have that panned almost due east out towards the upper part of the Columbia Basin. That's the Columbia River you see down there from our Billy Goat camera high above the Alta Lake area. As far as the rest of the week is concerned, weather-wise, a couple of weak systems that will track over our area. Again, precipitation amounts, they just don't know yet. We know we're going to get a little bit of light rain. That looks pretty good, especially when we get to Friday night. That's our best chance of measurable rain. Temperatures are going to really start dropping. We're only going to be in the lower 70s by Saturday, but things are going to change by the time we get to Sunday. So it's going to feel kind of autumn-like. But we got a long way to go. Summer's not over yet. We usually have, usually the weather in September is spectacular. Weather-wise, September might be my favorite month of all, unless we have smoky skies, which has been the case in years past. From the National Weather Service in detail, here we go. Kind of like yesterday, sunshine this morning. You see there's very little clouds out there, but we'll start seeing some clouds roll in and thicken up as the day progresses. Sunshine will have the upper part, but you're going to notice some clouds hanging around too. We'll top off at 80. Our normal high this time of the year is 86. Yesterday's high, by the way, was also 80 degrees. So basically going to repeat Tuesday all over again. Just no wind at all in the forecast. Clouds return tonight, 60 for the overnight low. It's going to be cloudy all day on Thursday, but a little bit warmer as some air from the south creeps in, warmer air. And we do have about a 20% chance of light rain on Thursday. That chance of showers goes up to 30% on Thursday night. A little breezy, 62 for the overnight low. Friday, a little breezy, 81 degrees with a 30% chance of showers. And then a chance of showers with lots of clouds Friday night. The chance of showers Friday night is 50%. That's our best chance of showers. I wish it was 100%. We'll take 50. Beggars can't be choosers. Chance of rain goes down to 30% on Saturday. This is the cool day, only 74, and then we start climbing the ladder again. Lots of sunshine Sunday, Monday, and right on into Tuesday as we're closing in on Labor Day weekend. Labor Day is early this year. It's September 2nd. That's almost as early as it, not quite as early as it could possibly be, but it is early this year. All right, that's the forecast. 7 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break and then give you the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Public notice. Never before RV public auction. 5 days only. August 22nd to the 26th. Come down and place your bid with no bid refused. There's hundreds of new and used RVs to be auctioned like Flagstaff, Starcraft, Forest River, Chaco, and Salem. Amazing financing. 0 down and no payments until 2025. There's food and refreshments. And you could be an instant winner of a 2024 trailer or $30,000 in cash. So don't miss the one-time only bid and buy auction sale. 5 days only. August 22nd through the 26th.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
I'm Jim Heinlein, agent at Springwater Insurance here in North Central Washington. As a licensed agent, we can't disclose any plan changes as it relates to Medicare year 2025, but we are getting ahead of all of these upcoming changes that will affect you. We have rented the entire upstairs ballroom for the first 3 days of October. You will get all your Medicare questions answered, but don't miss this talk or I'll explain all your options. To save a seat, give us a call now.
During the break, we kicked up a couple of degrees, up to 59, right around 80. Lots of sunshine this morning, some clouds thickening up tonight, and then we start talking about 20 to 30 to 50% chance of light showers beginning really on Thursday, lasting through Saturday night. The best chance of measurable rain Friday night, and we could use it. It's 9 minutes after the hour, so here's the latest on the Stamen Flats fire, or the Stamen fire, if you will. That's about the scene at about 2:30. Yesterday afternoon, that's when it was toned out. Almost everybody responded. Chelan County Fire District 7 was the lead agency. They're based in Chelan. Chelan County Fire District 6, Chelan County Fire District 1, the Manson Fire Department, the Leavenworth Fire Department, the Antioch Fire Department, the Cashmere Fire Department, Douglas County Fire District number 1, Douglas County Fire District number 4, the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department all responded to the Stamen fire, again toned out at about 1:45 yesterday afternoon. For a while there were a number of level 3 evacuations. Those have now been reduced to level 2. There are no more level 3 evacuations in the area. So the places that are now level 2 include Hawks Meadow Road, Chuckus Run, Dove Hollow Road, the Big Sail Lane, Hawks Ridge, Columbia Rim Road, Downey Canyon Road, the Chelan Butte Road, the Little Butte Road, the Butte Ranch Road. State fire assistance was mobilized about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon to contain the Stamen fire. Again, that's our PTZ footage from yesterday afternoon at about 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And as we just saw with our Union Valley camera looking across to the burn scar, it doesn't look like there's anything going on right now on the Stamen fire. Very aggressive airdrops and helicopter drops, and they did actually take some of the firefighters, some of the air support that was working on the Pioneer fire, and sent them down the lake to fight the Stamen fire. If anything else moves or develops on the Stamen fire throughout the course of the day today, stay close to our website. There is other news to talk about today. Douglas County voters will have an independent candidate on the ballot in the race for county commissioner. Paula Lamanna officially pulled ahead of her nearest competition, the District 2 commissioner's race. She got just over 20% of the vote. Rock Island Mayor Randy Agnew won the primary with 29% of the vote. Agnew is a Republican, but Lamanna, a fitness instructor and former wildland firefighter who's also from Rock Island, registered to run as an independent. Douglas County finalized its vote tally yesterday in the primary election that ended on August 6th. Agnew and Lamanna will go head-to-head, and the winner will replace departing Commissioner Kyle Steinberg. Of course, the general election on November 5th will be voted countywide by all the registered voters in Douglas County. The Chelan-Douglas Board of Health on Monday excluded one of its own members from a closed session. During that closed session, they discussed a legal challenge brought forward by that member, Bill Sullivan. He is an appointed health board member who also serves on a nonprofit group that opposes COVID-19 vaccinations and COVID health measures. Last month, that group delivered what it called a notice of liability, warning that the board and the Chelan-Douglas Health District could face legal liability for its part in offering vaccines and carrying out its pandemic response. Sullivan was one of 16 people who signed that letter, and the board's attorney said his presence would amount to a conflict of interest. Washington public meeting laws allows for closed sessions to discuss possible legal action. That led to an 8-1 vote to send Sullivan out of the boardroom during the 20-minute talk.
This board has been incurring potential liability every time it moves through its action for the past few years. You notice the liability that was submitted is really just a written culmination of that assertion that I'm making. And I've been clear about this from the beginning. I'm a signatory to the notice of liability for the sake of transparency, right? So what I didn't want to do is agree with it or have it articulate any of the points I've been trying to make without being upfront with you all about it and making sure that you all know that I have contributed to it and I do support it.
By the way, no action was taken after the executive session. There is currently no lawsuit that we know of pending against the health district over COVID-19 claims. Chelan County officials say a 70-foot illuminated cross that's planned for the hillside above the town of Leavenworth does not have the appropriate permits, even though construction's been underway since June. Organizers began planning and working on the cross on private property on Tumwater Mountain a couple of months ago, including erecting part of the tower and sinking anchors into granite. But Chelan County's Community Development Director, Dina Walter, told county commissioners yesterday the structure would fall under the county's sign code, and that sign code restricts its height to 35 feet. And there's also other rules that need to be followed. The organizers did not immediately respond to an email from us seeking comment. Walter says the crosswork would also require a building permit, but nobody has actually applied for one.
We also need to be aware this is a code enforcement issue that is under the sheriff's office. We are the liaison. This would be my interpretation of how the county code reads, but it's up to the sheriff's office to pursue enforcement.
Content doesn't matter. It's a structure. There may be FAA implications actually, because especially that one on the south end, there's those agricultural helicopters that fly around. And the FAA might have something to say about having something sticking up in the air. I think the code should be consistently applied, whatever code enforcement decides to do.
An appellate court last week upheld the dismissal of about half of a fruit industry lawsuit that centers on a local fruit company's merger. Chelan Fruit Cooperative accepted a merger proposal in 2021 with International Farming Corporation, but about a dozen co-op members, including Gebber's Farms, sued the next year, claiming the merger was conducted dishonestly and Chelan Fruit executives misled their partners leading up to the merger vote. That fall, Chelan County Judge Travis Brandt threw out 6 of the 10 causes of action against Chelan Fruit, including claims of unfair competition, unfair trade practices, breach of fiduciary duty, and state securities violations. Last week, the Washington State Court of Appeals upheld Brandt's ruling and turned back an appeal from the plaintiffs to reinstate some of those claims. 4 claims are still to be decided, including whether Chelan Fruit committed breach of contract over the marketing of the Sugar Bee apple variety. And 3 brothers from Wenatchee have been recognized for their creativity by the Washington State Library in the last couple of years. Spencer, Forrest, and Wayland Ward, they are all students in the Wenatchee School District. They are avid readers and writers. This year, Wayland and Forrest were the winners and a finalist together in the pre-4th grade category of the Washington State Zine Contest. Last year, their older brother Spencer won the same contest for his piece titled Washington Haiku. We got a chance to chat with the 3 brothers who all wrote zines inspired by Wenatchee's agriculture and outdoors.
When we came here once, we happened to go upstairs and we saw this flyer for this Washington State Zine Contest, and the rest is history.
Zines are like mini magazines that you could share your ideas and you can like receive ideas from other people. So it's titled like Tiny Mighty, and it's like how a little seed could make an entire festival, and like its journey of the way there.
I feel like some of my stuff that I write is inspired by stuff that actually happened. From the book that I saw haiku with, it had Japanese symbols next to it, and I thought that would be cool to add them. Haiku originated from Japan, and it follows a pattern where first line has 5 syllables, second line has 7, and the third line has 5. So first one is about a salmon. So it says, little salmon swims, he knows the journey, so he goes and does. And the Japanese character I did means courage, because I would guess that it would be hard for a salmon to make it all the way from the ocean back to the top of the Columbia River.
Into my zine is about all in nature, like in Washington. There are animals and trees, lizards, ladybugs, red robins, frogs, worms, dragonflies. My mom thought of like that there would be like great ideas for like this mini book. Like my mom think like these are like perfect animals to go in.
Would you say you're a family of readers and writers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you bounce your creativity off each other?
Yeah.
Good stuff. That's the news in 19 minutes. After the hour, I think we're going to have another busy news day today. I shouldn't predict these things, but it usually pans out. If you're interested in the news, and we think you are, watch it. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5, 6, and 10 on television. Our news will be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, our Facebook page, our YouTube page. If there's a news tip out there, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com, and right there is the QR code to download our app, which I have on my phone, and I use it. When we come back, the Mariners just need to get this road trip over with. Last night, no exception. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from Les.
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
22 minutes after the hour in sports, pinch hitter Jason Hayward broke an 8th inning tie. He hit a 3-run home run. The Dodgers rallied, beat the Mariners 6-3 last night. The Mariners leaving 4 runners on base in scoring position.
Line through the right side for a base hit. Cal Raleigh scores. Here comes Luke Raley. He thunders across the plate. Jorge Polanco cashes in with 2 outs in the first inning, and the Mariners are on the board. It's 2-0.
That is great to see after some of the struggles they had last night. And for Polanco, he finally gets a fastball that he likes. That right there is a sinker. It's a 2-seamer, pretty much in the middle of the plate.
With 2 outs and 2 strikes, a chance to drive in another run or 2 here. And he almost picks off Cal Raleigh. This skirts on the grass into the gap in left center field. Cal's around third to score. And Jorge Polanco has made it a 3-0 Mariners lead.
See what he does here on this payoff pitch. A drive to right center field. Robles on the run. He's at the track. He leaps. It is still up against the wall. They're saying home run. The ball is on the warning track. I think everybody's confused. Lux is into third with what I believe will be a triple, although he slowed up because the umpire signaled home run.
That's really interesting because you're right. He's talking to Iasonia right now at third base. And then I think Dan and Iasonia might be going, listen, do you go home because we were calling a home run?
Did it get over? And
yes,
it did.
It did. Wow.
So did the ball then squeak through the bottom of the wall?
It did. You're exactly right. It did pop.
What's that
pop
game?
out?
Like Plinko.
Right. Then at the bottom, we'll see it pop out. I've never seen that.
Once he turns on it, sends it in the air. 2 games, 2 big swings, 2 home runs. And he knew it.
So it feels like it's deja vu all over again. Gavin Lux hitting a home run, and in the same inning, 2 batters later, Max Muncy hitting a no-doubter as well.
Munoz to Mookie. Pulled down the line. It is a fair ball and a tie game. Mookie Betts headed to second with a game-tying double in the 7th.
One of the things the Dodgers have been great all season long is 2-out RBIs and coming up clutch once again. Mookie Betts staying with that. First pitch, not wasting any time. You got a closer on the mound. You're going, listen, I can't wait around. Can't get behind. I don't need to see pitches he's throwing.
On the ground, into right field for a base hit. Betts is coming around. Here comes Haniger's throw. Play at the plate. Tag applied, and he's out at home plate. What a throw by Haniger. Roberts is holding things up right now. See if they want to take a look at it. There is no challenge. Bett is out at home, and Mitch Haniger keeps the Dodgers from taking the lead in the bottom of the 7th.
Dave Roberts sends up a pinch hitter here. It's Jason Hayward for Kike right here. He's faced Munoz once and took him deep. Drills the ball down the line towards the corner. It's gone! Pinch hit home run. Jason Hayward. Dodgers take the lead in the 8th. Jason Hayward has been one thing or another, just about checked all the boxes throughout his career. Can't miss prospect, shows up, delivers, all-star player, washed up, released, starter on this team, hasn't played much lately, solidifying perhaps another role as a clutch pinch hitter. 4 for 8 with a pair of home runs as a pinch hitter this season. In the dirt, ball 2, here comes Rivas. Better be sure, throw to the plate, and he's out. What a terrible move by Rivas. Down 3 in the 9th, he makes the second out at home for no good reason.
I was going to air manager Scott Service's comments after the game. I have just changed my mind. It doesn't do us any good. By the way, the Mariners' chance of making the playoffs was 80% back in the middle of June. Now, according to Baseball Reference, it's down to 10.3%. Nothing Scott Service can tell us that you don't already know. The Mariners will try to avoid being swept tonight. Logan Gilbert will take on Jack Flaherty. The first pitch on Root Sports is at 7:10. Let's jump to the American League West scoreboard from our friends at Les Schwab. Good thing that the Mariners did what they did, because the Astros also lost. The Red Sox beat them 6-5. In fact, every team in the American League West lost last night, with the exception of the Angels, who beat the Royals 9-5. Haley Van Lith was in the big city last week, in and out. She wanted to see some family, some friends. She had to get together with the Brave Warrior Project because she's that kind of person. While she was here, she sat down with her very own Eric Grandstrom for an exclusive interview. One of the questions Eric asked her was her future after her college career is done.
I know you've watched Caitlin Clark's entry into the WNBA. And does that give you motivation? Does that make you a little trepidatious about it? You know, that's obviously the hope for you for your next step, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all about how the person views it. And so for me, I'm going to be focused on myself as a player and just what I'm going to be about. That's all that I can control. So regardless of what happens on the exterior, on the interior, I know how I'm going to hold myself and how I'm going to go about things. And I'm going to compete. And whatever results that produces, that's what it may be. But I'm going to go there to compete and earn a spot.
Eric's entire conversation, by the way, with Haley Van Lith can be viewed by going to our website, ncwlife.com. One more quick note in sports. Today is the first day of high school football practice. We're almost there. They get to start a little early in high school football. Those are just some of the games that people are playing. It's 29 minutes after the hour. Happy National Senior Citizen Day today, proclaimed by Ronald Reagan back in August of 1988 when he, in fact, was a senior citizen. Yeah, Proclamation 5847 declares August 21st as National Senior Citizens Day. It's estimated that if the current trends continue, because people are living longer than ever, senior citizens will account for 20% of the country by the year 2050. Another interesting fact about senior citizens, women account for 57% of the senior citizen population. They consider 65 and older a senior citizen. For every woman above the age of 65, there are 72 men. A lot of important people accomplished some really remarkable things at an advanced age. Henrik Ibsen wrote the play When We Dead Awaken when he was 71. Alexander Graham Bell was still getting patents when he was 75. Grandma Moses received her last art commission when she was 99. Happy National Senior Citizens Day, and I'm not too far off from joining the group. Knock on wood. It's the bottom of the hour. Right in the middle of the Civil War, August 21st, 1873, Lawrence, Kansas was long known for opposing slavery. They supported abolition of slavery. They were a reputation for Jayhawkers. Jayhawkers was a militia who did not believe in slavery. They were basically vigilante groups. Jayhawkers would attack plantations in pro-slavery Missouri. And, well, William Quantrell had enough of this, and Lawrence, Kansas is pretty much destroyed on the state in 1863 by 450 pro-Confederate guerrillas. They were known as William Quantrell's Raiders. 164 civilians and 40 raiders were killed. This was an ugly, bloody incident. They really wanted to keep slavery around so much that they were willing to kill people to keep slavery going. That was on the state 161 years ago today. 113 years ago today, this took some chutzpah. Vincenzo Pagurgia steals the Mona Lisa. He stole it from the Louvre in Paris on this date in 1911. Vincenzo was Italian. The person who painted it, Leonardo da Vinci, was Italian. He said, shouldn't it be in Italy? I mean, he's our most famous artist, so I'm going to steal the painting. And he did. Vincenzo steals the painting from the Louvre. He kept it in a steamer trunk under the bed in his apartment in Paris for 2 years. And then he got caught because he tried to sell it to a museum in Italy. If you're going to try and sell the most famous painting ever known, it's going to throw up a few red flags. He got caught. He wasn't really punished. They said, we know your heart was okay on that one. Yet it's almost impossible now to steal the Mona Lisa. And if you do, will you let us know so we can have an exclusive news tip? We always do the anniversary of states. This is the one state flag that really messes people up. They look at that and they go, that's the state flag of what? That's Hawaii. Happy 65th birthday to Hawaii. 2/3 of Hawaiians live on Oahu. That's, of course, also where the state capital is, Honolulu. There are 8 main Hawaiian islands. 7 have people on them. Only 6 are open to tourists and locals. There's one island called Niihau. It's privately owned by the Sinclair family. It's managed by Bruce and Keith Robinson, their brothers. Access to Niihau is restricted to those who have their permission. And there's also another island called Kalauea, which is completely uninhibited. Nobody is allowed on the island of Kalauea. 25% of the Hawaiian economy depends on tourists. The people of Hawaii consume 7 million cans of Spam every year. They love their Spam. Hawaii used to be self-sustaining as an agricultural community, not anymore, so much so that between 85 and 90% of all of the food in Hawaii is shipped into the state, which is why Hawaii has a very high cost of living. But you live a long time. The average lifespan of somebody born and living in Hawaii is 81.5 years. That's longer than any lifespan of any U.S. state. Happy 65th birthday to Hawaii. You are now a senior citizen. And now we have some birthdays. 2 heavenly birthdays. Ironically enough, I was just listening to Count Basie on Monday night, not even knowing his birthday was today. William James Basie, the great Count Basie, born in the state 120 years ago in 1904. I have a bunch of Count Basie albums. I don't think he ever did a bad one, especially his recordings for Roulette Records. The great Count Basie, born in the state in 1904. The Big Dipper, Wilt Chamberlain, born in the state in 1936, died in 1999 at the age of 63. He preferred the nickname the Big Dipper. He had a lot of nicknames. He got that because he had to dip his head to walk through doorways. Wilt Chamberlain holds 72 NBA records. Wilt Chamberlain is the only player in NBA history to average 30 points and 20 rebounds per game in a season. The only one to ever do that. And he did it 7 times. And he never fouled out of a single NBA game. Wilt Chamberlain, born in the state in 1936. One of the greatest guitarists this country has ever produced, James Burton. He played with you name an artist from the 1950s to today, James Burton has played with him. He was, of course, the leader of Elvis Presley's band in the 1970s. James Burton, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is 85 years old today. And considered without question the greatest sprinter of all time, Usain Bolt of Jamaica, the only sprinter to win the Olympic 100-meter and 200-meter titles at 3 consecutive Olympics, a remarkable feat. He's 38 years old today, and he's still fast. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. As I mentioned already, you're probably going to have your air conditioner off for a while this weekend. If it's going to be off, that's when, you can't really do a checkup on your air conditioning and your HVAC system when it's running. Give Alpine Air a call. All right, going to take a break. When we come back, Mike McNaughty has an opinion. You're going to like it. And then Joel Norman, one last look back at what was a remarkable, fun baseball season with the Wenatchee Apple Sox. We were proud to be a part of it. We put a ribbon on the bow, or a bow on the ribbon, with Joel Norman. When we come back, you watch Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients, handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Here's your coffee. That'll be $5.
Thanks.
Oh, it's only $5.
Oh, I like paying double.
Why?
I've always paid more.
You wouldn't pay double for coffee. So don't pay double on your heating bill. Cut your heating bills by up to half when you switch to a heat pump or ductless mini split, and get cash back from Chelan PUD plus federal tax credits. Learn more at chelanpud.org/save.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, here's a poser for you. Something I consider one of the most nonsensical societal inanias of our time. Certain Christian folks have been declaring that a very successful female pop star is demonic due to some lyrics they consider offensive on her new album. Now, at the same time, some of these folks are supporting a morally corrupt individual for president of our country. Now, I don't get it. Hey, look, vote for Trump if you want to. I'll salute. And you're under no compunction to listen to Taylor Swift's new album. But geesh, calling Swift demonic and then supporting Trump? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza. Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone. Find custom floral designs for any occasion at Mountain Chick Floral. Even more wonderful plants and gifts abound in every corner in their new location at 7A South Wenatchee Avenue.
The Original Children's Shop offers sweet summertime outfits for your newborn to 8-year-old. Stop in for all the essentials you need to have a fun summer. Swimsuits, sandals, towels, sand toys, and more. Shop online or in our store.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here. When you've been in business for 40 years, it's because you understand change and you put members first, always. Now Works is announcing a change in their membership model. Up to 6 people on one membership that you can mix and match. The more people, the bigger the discounts. Introducing the Works shared membership model. One membership, friends and family and flexibility. Works, the cleanest, friendliest, most helpful gyms you and your friends will ever join.
Well, it's a wrap on the 2024 Wenatchee Apple Sox season. All things considered, a damn good season. The enthusiasm is back at the ballpark. More importantly, quality baseball is back in the Wenatchee Valley for the West Coast Collegiate Bat League. My good buddy Joel Norman joins me after he's back from the Rose City. We all know what happened on Friday night. I would be remiss if we didn't rehash the championship game. I think probably the best championship game in league history since the West Coast League was founded. They don't get much better than that. I mean, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Portland pulls out the victory. All things considered, though, now that things have settled down, it's a few days later, you got to be pretty happy with this ball club this year.
You know, now that I've been able to peel myself out of the corner and take the blanket off after 24 hours and finally think about shaving, still not yet. But no, I mean, now that we've had time to reflect on it, I mean, I was texting our head coach, Mitch Darlington, this morning, and we kept saying that as crushing as of a finish it was, there were so many memories made over the course of the year that stand out more than the finish. There were so many moments, so many just memories that we'll have from this season that we'll always remember. And that's what I'm going to remember from this summer the most. I would have loved to have seen everyone dogpiling at the pitcher's mound, that final out in the 9th inning. And I would love to be talking about adding a banner here to the ballpark next year. But there were so many other moments that made this summer one of the best in Apple Sox history, at least since we last won a title. Arguably the best since 2012. So we have a lot to be proud of, and a big reason why is, the support of our fans, our sponsors, everyone who was a big part of this season, who stuck with this team in some tough years. I tell a lot of people that the 2021 season, in a lot of ways, could have sunk this franchise. The way things went, there was such a lack of pride with this organization, players, coaches, and whatnot. And things changed, and a big reason why was because of Mitch Darlington. He came in, but also because, this Jose Oglesby, our owner and our management, they realized we've got to make some changes after that 21 season. And I think this team just continues to find ways to get better, both on the field and off the field. We've seen a lot more engagements with local sponsors and other businesses in town. We've seen more fans out at the park. We set our single game attendance record this summer, and that was in July 3rd. So people are understanding that the buzz is back with the Apple Sox. That might have been missing for a few years, maybe for the better part of a decade might have been missing. And I think a big reason why was the season we just had. So I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of all the people who have helped bring pride back to the Apple Sox and made this really a summer to remember.
And he used the right blueprint because he kept bringing it up throughout the course of his rebuilding the program. I'm talking about Mitch Darlington, the Ed Nags way, which was 2 things. Number 1, this is how we want to play baseball, which is winning baseball, and just as importantly, bringing the talent in. Ed has a network of baseball friends throughout the West Coast, and Mitch was able to understand relationships with the collegiate coaches to bring the right players to understand the Apple Sox way. Those 2 ingredients together is what Mitch used as the base ingredient to do what he's done now.
The thing that I think is so cool in addition to all that, Mitch has found a way to get guys to keep coming back. You instill that program identity with a summer ball team, which is not at all common. I think a lot of these teams are happy if they can get 4 or 5 guys to return for a second summer, just to sell a few more tickets because fans remember them. The thing I keep looking back is our 3 home playoff games. All 3 of those pitchers, starting pitchers for the Apple Sox, were guys who were at least 2-year veterans. Evan Canfield and Quincy Vassar, 3 years. Cam Hoyland, a second year with the team. This meant something to them. And when they were crying after we lost in Portland, those tears were real. And that's not always the case. I remember a game back in 2021, Walla Walla and Yakima. It was an extra inning game, end of the regular season, and one of those teams got walked off, and both teams celebrated. It was the last game of the summer, and both teams were just happy to be done. And I remember ever since I saw that, I said, that is so pathetic that you could be that happy a baseball season could come to an end. And it was so neat this year. The guys who were here throughout the summer, the raw emotion that they had after we lost. Max Hartman, one of the first guys I saw. He was here since day one. Played in just about every single game. I mean, he lived this team summer more than just a lot of other guys had. So when we see those guys having that type of passion, how could it not rub off on you? How could it not fire you up to try and make things even better for next year? And I think that's the thing that'll be so fun with Mitch to watch is, we've been talking, we've been reflecting, and just trying to take time away. We're at the field right now, but, one of the things I was saying to him yesterday was you have to just get away from the field. As much as you want to get back to the park, as much as you miss that routine, you have to get away. You have to separate yourself from those moments and those emotions so that you can kind of fire you up a little bit and fuel that desire for the next summer.
The guys are scattering to the winds with the exception of Mitch. He's got to go back to work. He's got school.
That's right.
Athletic director duties to do. So Mitch, being an older and a mature guy and a father, the transition from what happened on Friday night to back to regular life is going to be pretty easy. Some of these guys, they took it pretty hard, though.
Absolutely. I'm still sitting here trying to unmask it. You know what I mean? I sat on the phone with my parents for about 3 hours on Saturday night just being like, I still can't believe we lost. And I didn't even have anything to do with it. I was just watching it. So, but it's one of those things I think we're all just trying to process it. And it's not at all disrespect to Portland. That is a comeback for the ages. I'll still be so amazed at the guts it took for them to attempt a double steal with 2 outs, trying to get the tying run to third base, and it worked out. I will always have respect that they were able to pull that one off. I'm just so bummed that we couldn't hang on, is what it comes down to. So it's a transition for a lot of people. Like we said, for Mitch, it sure is a nice thing school starts this week because that's a nice distraction in a new way. But time heals everything. We head into the fall here. A lot of guys are heading back to school, and that's the great thing for them. The players get to refocus. They get ahead to their season, and we say goodbye to a lot of faces who were regulars this summer, who were part of the identity of this team, but it just adds back into that thing I was talking about where we're so excited once we get to start to meet those 2025 players, because I know pretty soon here Mitch is going to get really started and cracking on that roster, and you look at the trajectory of his teams each year. He's taken a step each season. Win the second half the first year, win 37 games the second year, make it to the West Coast League Championship game the third year. I'm just saying, I think we know what's next for this group with the way we've been moving.
Is it going to help Mitch out a little bit for the guys who are still eligible, who have shown interest to come back, that they came this close in 2024, that they're going to be the first ones with their hands up when Mitch gives them a call, says you want to come back next year and take another run at it? Is that going to ease some of that a little bit as far as recruiting players?
I think no doubt about it, because if anything, those guys are the ones who saw it. And Mitch always talks about the returners setting the identity of this group, where maybe that first or second game of the year, it's you get behind the 8 ball, and they know, hey, every game's important. We can't take any days off. So I talked about it before, those starting pitchers. They set the identity of this group this year. All 3 of those guys were emotional pitchers every time they pitched. Canfield, Vassar, Hoyland. We had so many talented arms, but you need guys who have that extra level of awareness and interest, so to speak, with the program. We had some stud pitchers. We had some stud position players on this team. But sometimes they don't know immediately just how important every single game is with how quickly the season goes by. Once that's instilled, those guys turn into leaders too. I mentioned Max Hartman. That's a guy, he had played in this league. He knew what it was like. He hadn't been in Wenatchee yet. He didn't know what our culture was like, but he knew what it took to lead. So once he was around some of those guys like Quincy and Evan, he understood really quickly, oh, this is the Apple Sox way. I get it, and now I'm all aboard now. So it was so fun seeing the way that our veteran leaders and returners were able to weave in some of those new players throughout the year, and even the younger players, the incoming freshmen. I look at a guy like Matthew Henning. He did not really get a chance to play probably as much as he wanted. In the postseason, he didn't appear in a game, pitching or at the plate. But he was the first person to volunteer to be a bullpen catcher anytime they needed one. Hey, you need me to go catch a bullpen for you before the game, during the game? He would do that. That was a guy who he loved his teammates, he loved the product, and he loved the opportunity to learn a little bit from his summer with the Apple Sox. And that's what it takes. You need unselfish players in what in a lot of ways is a selfish sport in baseball. It's mano-a-mano when you're at the plate. When the balls hit you, it's up to you. It's not your teammate who can help you, it's you. But this team has found a way to do everything cohesively. Mitch Darlington would talk about when you're in the dugout, whether it's when we're getting hit or we're in the field, you're finding a way to be part of the game. You're letting us know, hey, maybe they're tipping a pitch or maybe we're tipping a pitch. Here's what I'm seeing from their side. So I love the way that he has set the culture of this group, and I can't wait to see the way it continues next summer.
And keep in mind, when these players go back to their respective colleges in a few weeks, they talk to each other. Oh, yeah. The ball players and the other team saying, what did you do this summer? I played for the Wenatchee Apple Sox. If Mitch Darlington calls you and shows some interest in you coming, you better listen to Mitch. I mean, there's the network within the network that helps feed the talent that comes up here to the big city.
Absolutely. And Mitch stretches that so much. He would tell me that the first 2 years when he got here, he said, hey, Joel, we've got to go all out with promoting this guy because we want him to go back to school, say he had the summer of his life, and then we want to get 3 players from there next year. We want to keep that connection going. And that was the cool thing this year. The one thing I kept telling people, Dan, was you look at our 9 players in the starting lineup in the championship game, I think there were only 3 of them who were guys who were signed before the season started. Cam Hoyland, Max Hartman,
and Quincy
at the end of the game,
was a reliever, yeah.
But I'm thinking even with the DH in there, Jonathan Fitz was one. Quincy and Garrett Ahern. Everyone else, the Evan Cloyds, the Kanoa Morisakis, Cooper Witten, James Castagnola, Jake Larson, in-season additions. That is so uncommon for this league. But Mitch saw we had some openings, and he said, let's do whatever it takes to win this title. And we set a record for players used this year as a result. But I think we got to see a lot of guys stay longer than we necessarily would in other years because that team we had in the championship game, those were our guys. Yeah, maybe you would have preferred one guy at a spot maybe more than another, or maybe he was playing a little bit out of position. But those guys have been here since at least the beginning of July. And I think that was what was so special was when we lost, I felt like, you know what, we lost with our guys. We didn't lose with guys who joined us a week ago. We didn't lose with guys who, have never played for this team prior to this summer in a lot of ways. But it was so cool that it was at least our team on the field because, as you've seen some years, that's not always the case. And Mitch has figured that out with having that first-half team and that second-half team.
The Apple Sox were a better product this year, and their field will be a better field come next year. It is Monday as we tape this. The season's over, and the project that's been in the hopper for a while is beginning, and we'll get some footage of that. Basically, I believe some grant money was ascertained and a few other odds and ends, and they are going to my understanding, Joel, field turf, put in artificial turf or field turf on the entire foul territory, and basically between third base to first base will still remain dirt, but they're going to make some significant improvements to this ball club here in the late summer, early fall.
Absolutely. And the big things I've been told about was, the third base line and the first base line, as well as all of home plate, that's turf now. And that's going to save our field workers, our coaches, a lot of work getting the field ready, and it's going to save a lot of, wear and tear on this field. Paul Thomas Senior Stadium gets a really bad rap, and I really don't know why, because I think this is a great park. I know it has its quirks with the rocky infield at times. That's going to get leveled out here. We're going to take care of a lot of that stuff because I think this is one of those spots. It's probably the best view in the West Coast League. When you're sitting down, I don't know if you have a closer seat to home plate.
Yeah, you're right
than
there.
You do here.
There's
right?
very little foul territory behind home plate.
Yeah, I think it is an incredible place to come watch a ball game, and I think this is another example of Jose Oglesby's commitment to really continuing to buy into this product here. He added the scoreboard. He's added other additions. He wants to help improve this field as well. He cares about baseball in Wenatchee, and he really wants to keep making it better, making it a product that we're not just saying, hey, we've got a cool park, it'll take care of itself. Now, this is a progressive step forward, and I, like a lot of other people, I'm going to miss some of the dirt and the grass of the infield, but I'm also going to enjoy that maybe we don't have as many quirks sometimes of this park. This doesn't mean the jet stream's still going away. We'll still have that out in left field, still have, maybe some bounces on the infield, but I mean, there's a home field advantage to playing here, and this is going to be something that makes it easier for us and for opponents, but we're still going to have a lot of those fun quirks about the park that we love about this stadium.
It's off-season time. We'll wrap up with this. First of all, the front office with Jose and Allie, they still got some work to do, even though they're going to get some very much-needed downtime. Yeah. I don't think Allie has taken a day off since the season started in late May. You've just had a couple of days during the All-Star break, and that was about it. What's next for the Apple Sox front office in the offseason? And Joel Norman, personally, I'll let you take that in chronological order.
Yeah, starting with the team, I know the big thing they do is reaching out to our sponsors. And, I always say if you're a local business in town, you're interested in supporting the team and, hey, getting free season tickets as well, we'd love to bring you on board. So email info@applesox.com. But that's going to be a big focus for Allie, Jose, and Nick, our assistant GM, just trying to reach out and, connect with our sponsors and thank them. Again, like I said, we had a great increase in sponsors this year. Nick was a big part of that with his sponsorship sales, and we're really looking forward to keeping everyone happy and hopefully, delivering another fun product for them next summer that they'll really enjoy. So that'll be a big thing, chatting with the coaches, sorting everything out there, getting them ready for next season, and that slow preparation. You can never start too early on the new season, and Jose would always say it. He said, the week after the season ends, the new one begins. We take a little downtime, we get away right now and relax, but then we refocus and we shift our focus and we flip the calendar already to 2025. For myself, I'm actually leaving this afternoon.
Yeah.
After we talk, I'm heading back to Nebraska, broadcasting for the USHL team there in Lincoln once again. So done that the last 3 years, and it's always sad leaving Wenatchee, but it makes it even sweeter when it's time to come back. So
do we see you next year?
That's the plan right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You never
Okay.
know, but that's the plan. So it'll be fun. It's fun to go into hockey. I prefer baseball. I tell people they're the opposite, but I do prefer baseball, and it's always sad for me when the season ends because I miss that everyday grind. I miss chatting with our players during batting practice, talking with the coaches in the dugout and then in the clubhouse before games, and I'll miss all of that, but it just makes me more excited for next summer when we start to see everything kind of turn green again and it's warm weather once more.
Joel Norman, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. Gee, July in Wenatchee or February in Nebraska?
Give me July in Wenatchee.
I'll do July in Wenatchee as well. Joel, best of luck. Keep in touch, my friend.
Will do.
And I'll try and tune in and watch your play-by-play for hockey. And you better get your ass back here next year.
Looking forward to it.
If you need to negotiate with Jose, I'm an outstanding negotiator.
He will be my arbitrator, so
okay,
I'm looking forward to that.
I'll be your agent on that. It was nice knowing you.
See if I get a qualifying offer.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Want to stay up to date on the latest news in the area? Tired of paying for your news? Download the NCW Life app now. No subscriptions necessary. Get news, weather, sports, and more live as it happens. Available for iPhone and Android in the App Store. Local news at your fingertips. Don't miss the stories that matter to you. Stay connected. Download the NCW Life app now.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
Oh, look at this.
This would look really good in the kitchen.
Or the living room. Just look at it.
New windows are a work of art. Upgrade your home's windows and get cash back from Chelan County PUD.
This is gonna look great in the house.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
All right, one more item of business, and it's down the road you go on this Wednesday, and that is the forecast. Good news, looks like we're going to have some light showers. The bad news, they really don't know the precipitation amounts. There's still some work to be done on the computer modules to kind of get together, but it looks like some light showers, a distinct possibility, especially in the Wenatchee Valley on Friday night, and we need the rain and we need it bad, and the higher relative humidity would be a good deal too for local firefighters. Increasing clouds today, so lots of sunshine this morning. We'll cloud up this afternoon. We'll get up to about 80 degrees, mostly cloudy tonight. 60 for the overnight low. Slight chance of showers on Thursday. Don't bet on it. With a high of 84, it's going to be a little warmer tomorrow. Chance of showers on Thursday night goes up to 30%. It stays at 30% on Friday. On Friday night, the chance of showers goes up to 50%. We're going to cool down on Saturday. The warming trend begins in earnest on Sunday. I know because I spoke to Ernest, and he's ready. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.